What up, everybody? What is good? I am your host, California Cal, and welcome to the Damn Dude Podcast.
Damn, dude.
We're here to have really just real-ass conversations, keep it authentic, and from what I've discovered from all the interviews I'm doing, I'm kind of like setting up this whole podcast a little backwards. But I did all my interviews before recording my own first solo episode. But what's interesting is because I wanted to kind of like get the feel for what this was about and the best way to like really like categorize this and say like, yo, like what is this magic that keeps happening? Like I'm not entirely sure. So like, let's just fucking go try and see what happens. So through that experience, this is the Damn Dude Podcast, where we have the conversations that need to be had. That's what I've discovered. That's the type of conversations that you can expect from the Damn Dude Podcast. The reason we call this the Damn Dude Podcast is because we have the conversations in a way that'll make you think and say, damn, dude.
Damn, dude.
And like I said, for those of you that don't know me, my name is California Cal, Calvin Cuz, Cali Cal, Calves, Tumnus, Coco Bird, Coco, Daddy, Dad. I'm a father, got 2 kids. I'll get into that. How else do you know me? Depending how you know me, you might know me from many different names. Shit, what are some other ones? Quang, Stana, Brolvin, did I say Tumnus? Yeah, there's a whole bunch, and it's kind of funny. It just like depending where you know me from, you know me as one of those sorts of names. I grew up in San Diego, California, and grew up in Mira Mesa, Mecca Town.
I know Mira Mesa.
You know what I'm saying? Mira Mesa. Was living in Southeast for the last while.
I know Southeast Dago.
Before Southeast, I was living in Hawaii. I was living in North Shore, on Oahu. I lived up in Pupukea, up where the like right in where Sharks Cove is. You go up that hill where that food land's at, and that's where I stayed, was right up on top of that hill. I would drive down in the morning. I'd be like smoking a blunt, ride my motorcycle, and like I would literally see fucking whales jump out of the ocean like in the morning. I was just like, yo, this is fucking something else, dude. Like, what did I get myself into? Prior to that, I lived in IB. Prior to that, I lived in Mira Mesa, and I lived in Mira Mesa a couple different times, but then I lived in IB, and then before that, I grew up in Mira Mesa. Before that, I come from Claremont. So from those of you familiar with San Diego, you know what those places are. You know, I'm an '80s baby. I was born in '85, and like, so who am I? Like, for those of you that don't know me, I'm California Cal. I'm half Chinese, half Norwegian. I just turned fucking 35 years old. The braggadocious, like, cool guy side of me is like, yeah, I am the product of the Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris fight. That's how I was born. But yeah, it's not often that you get a Chinese Norwegian type of person. Shit, I'm trying to think where to even start. One thing to know about me is I jump subjects all over. Like, I always was the kid that said, oh, he's got ADD, this and that. My parents were always like, man, whatever, dude. Like, fuck that. I just don't think he's interested in what you're teaching him, really. And you know, it took me a long time to realize it's not stupid of me to have my brain jump everywhere. Like, I don't think in a linear, you know, like way that works well for like how they try and teach you in school and shit. So, shit. So one thing that you'll notice if you see some of the other trailers or other episodes or anything, depending what order you watch all these in, if you're watching video form, I'm gonna give a little explanation about why the background's different. And that is because, like I said, this podcast is about keeping it real and authenticity and having the conversations that need to be had. So where I'm at is back at my parents' fucking pad, dude. I'm back in my dad's house, the same house I grew up in, 35 fucking years old. My relationship didn't work out with my girl. We have 2 kids and, you know, a 15-year-old and an almost 2-year-old, Nate and Royal. Yeah, and it's like just within this last week, our relationship didn't work out. We had to call it quits, and it's like 6 years we were together, and I'm like, fuck, man, after everything I've done and been through and all of this, like, I'm fucking right back where I started, dude. Like, how the fuck did this happen? You know what I'm like? You know what? I know exactly how it happened. If I just look back and like keep it real, then I know what happened. The like ego-y side of me wants to like start pointing the finger and be like, oh well, she did this, she did that, da, da, da. And that's not how it is. One thing about me, I believe in taking personal responsibility for everything and anything that happens in our life. For example, like I've been cheated on in the past, not this last relationship, but just in the past. And for a while I was like, man, fuck you. But then at the same time I realized like, yo, it doesn't have to fucking be like fuck you. It's like once I took ownership of myself and took personal responsibility for myself, I no longer had to blame her. So like for cheating on me, I realized that, yo, I caused my ex to go cheat. I did that myself. And it's like, well, how the fuck did you do that? You know, like, but the way I see it is like, well, shit, I was jealous, I was controlling, I was always just trying to like be right. I definitely had the need to be right all the time. So like I can see that my neediness, my jealousness, my need to be right really just forced her out of my like realm of love, you know, like the circle of love that I could put off is like it just pushed her away because I would just, I don't know, I would need that to feel loved and feel attention and shit like that, you know. And it's like I realized that controlling, like not even controlling, but like I wasn't hardcore controlling, it was more just like jealous, I guess I would say. But like where that comes from is like, yo, like you love me, you're supposed to just show all of that to me and only me, you know, like. And I realized that comes from like not getting enough hugs as a kid. And like it's kind of funny because I look back and I think it was like, shit, almost all the shit that we go through and all the problems or anything we encounter or like how we are, the negative sides of us, the bad sides of us, whatever, like it usually just stems from shit that's unresolved as a kid. So damn, I could go really deep in this. I'm trying to think what direction to take this. I want to keep everything somewhat linear, but like I said, my brain and me, I'm just like not the linear type of dude. So I'm trying to think. Let's go back here a little bit. It's like what makes me interesting? What makes me qualified to speak and have a podcast and have a platform and like what gives me the right to have a voice, I guess, in a way, or like who am I? Like why should anybody give a shit about what I say? You know what I'm saying? And I think what makes me unique, well, I know what makes me unique is the way that I grew up and the experiences that I've had and my context and perception on life and of those experiences. So I believe in life that like we all have the same. I'm kind of taking this from one of my mentors, David Meltzer. Like we all experience the same level of suck in life on a daily basis. Like it all averages out. Like the amount of suck a human can experience is kind of averages out to about the same in our daily lives on a daily basis as adults. Obviously there's circumstances and shit that's like, you know, beyond all that and whatever. But I'll just give a little bit of background about like my upbringing and stuff like that, and then I'll kind of get into what I do and why I do what I do, because that's really important to me anyway. So like I said, I grew up in Mira Mesa.
I know Mira Mesa.
And shout out to Ben Baller, by the way. I jacked these little clips of him saying stuff that I was like, yo, that's fucking sick. So shout out to you. If I need to shut that down, holler at me. But either way, if that's gonna happen, you gotta come have a conversation with me. So it's all out of love and respect. Shout out Ben Baller. He's a big inspiration for me doing this, and yeah, just a cool dude. Anyway, I grew up in Mira Mesa. I grew up around in like let me think the best way to like timeline this. So I grew up in like gang culture. And to a lot of people, and it took me moving out of my own neighborhood and like moving away to really realize that gang culture and gangbanging is like not necessarily normal, and that other people don't live these experiences on a daily basis, you know? So I'm gonna get into like why and what led me into thinking gangbanging was cool, and just like the way that we would think around here. So like for one, I was never in a gang. I never joined technically. I'd happen to know people from a bunch of different gangs who I was friends with before they joined anything. So why am I even around gangsters at all? So I'm gonna backtrack a, a bit here, and then I'll catch back up to there, and then I'm gonna go forward. We're gonna Quentin Tarantino this shit. So 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 roll with the punches here. Um, so going back, I moved to Mira Mesa when I was I was like almost 2 years old or 2 years old. I was about two, and from there I grew up in like I had a little sister. I had a little sister and I have a little brother who are younger than me. I'm the oldest. And when I was in first grade, my little sister, my grandma, and my great aunt all passed away in the same month. And that was like fucking crazy as a kid, dude. Cause like at that time, like my parents had me when they were 17 and 18. So like at this time, they were only like 24, I wanna say, when my sister passed away. And like imagine being 24 years old. It's like that's not even old. Like I know I didn't know shit still when I was 24. I still don't know shit, but like um like imagine, you lose a daughter and a mom and a aunt. Like that's crazy for my parents to go through, for me to go through. And like that just made living hard. You know what I'm saying? It was like life was tough, dude. Like I can't I'll paint this picture. Nothing's really off limits, I feel like, with my life. So I'm gonna just go into everything. If I change subject, I feel like, or if I don't say something, it's not because I'm not willing to share it, it's because I think it's something that's more interesting. So um yeah, so fucking I'm like, yo, I remember, so check this out. This is pretty trippy too. This kind of ties into what I said a little bit ago too about decisions we make as kids. Um so I was 6 years old and my little sister died, and I'm standing at her funeral. And there I am, I'm standing at her casket. And my little sister passed away right before she was 2 years old. She was almost two. She passed away due to heart problems, and a bunch of other medical complications. She had Down syndrome. She had like stomach issues, everything. And she passed away. And like I remember standing at her casket, and it was an open casket funeral. And she was laying there in her little white dress with the little gold like glitter things on it. And I just remember like standing there, and I looked around, and normally like I was the life of the party because I'm like this cool little rugrat kid like running around. I was all rugged and like had a long ass mullet, and I was tough as fuck. Like I was always super duper tough when I was a kid. That was like my thing. Like nobody could out fucking do more. Nobody could do more push-ups than me. Nobody could bunny hop higher than me, or like jump farther on their bike. Like I was just all like, we played tackle football in the street. Like I was just all about like, just going hard. So like I could really hang with adults when I was a little kid. And so I remember walking past all my parents' friends and and family and everything, and like I'm walking by, and normally I'm like the life of the party. And this time I walk by everybody, and like nobody's even acknowledging me. Like everybody's just in their own world. Like obviously understandable, like a little baby just died, but like that just as kid me, I'm like, yo, like I'm invisible. Holy shit. And my interpretation of that was like, yo, whenever I see adults, like they don't acknowledge each other. It's like, oh hey yo, and like pick each other up and stuff like that. Like, but as a kid, that was how I noticed and acknowledged that adults, or sorry, that's how I would notice that adults acknowledged kids. Was like, oh hey, what's up? And it was like a big deal. And as soon as I wasn't that big deal, everything just kind of like just zoomed back, and I'm standing at my sister's casket, and I sat there and I looked around, and I told myself, I just had this moment of like, I took a deep breath, and it was just me. I'm in this room full of like 100 people, but it's just me. And I remember like it was like everything went quiet, and I had this conversation with myself, and I was like, Calvin, your childhood is over. It's time for you to grow up. All that stuff is done. And I just remember I told myself that, and I made that absolute decision. It wasn't even just like some choice where I could like choose it in and out. No, it was an absolute decision. This is the way I fucking am, and this is the way that it is. And I decided that when I was 6 years old. So what happened was like going into second grade. So all of that had happened when I was in first grade. So going into second grade, I remember, and this ties into like making decisions as a kid. So I go into second grade. Shout out Erickson Elementary, by the way. All my Vikings, Leaf Erickson, what's up? So I'm in second grade, and I remember I was just like fucked up. Like, and this is actually a really like true story. I wouldn't talk to for pretty much the whole year of second grade. I went silent. I would like respond to certain things like, yeah, no, like shit like that at a max. But like I wasn't responsive. I wasn't like, like barely. And I wouldn't talk to people. I wouldn't share ideas. I wouldn't laugh. I wouldn't do shit like that. So I remember I would go around second grade and I would just observe people, and I would see kids playing kickball, and I would see kids laughing, screwing around, doing whatever. I would be like, in my head, I'm thinking like, yo, like, damn, you don't even realize you could be dead right now. Like, you don't even realize you're having fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck, dude. So, I was walking around thinking that shit, and I'm like, yo, these kids, like, don't even realize that life is so, like, precious, it could just be taken from us so easily. And these other kids weren't comprehending death or life or fun or not fun. It's just like, oh, just give me the ball, like, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, it would just kind of like bug me. And I would walk around, I'm like, man, like, oh, I'm kind of jumping ahead. Let me go back and touch on something before I get to there. So there was something that happened in second grade, which was, I'm in this whole like quiet thing. My brain's just all fucked up, really. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to be a normal ass kid after some shit like that happens. And I grew up poor as fuck. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a whole nother thing. I'll get into another time. But like that, and like just, where do I want to go with this? Like, I don't know, just everything just piled up. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm in second grade and shit, life's just not easy. Going through what I just went through. So teacher calls on me, or she says something like, oh, everybody turn to page whatever and read question number 3. So I'm like, all right, cool. We all turn the page. And back then, like our workbook, all the categories, all the subjects were in the same book. So like math, English, reading, history, whatever is in the same textbook. So you flip to whatever chapter it was, and then like the teacher said, flip to whatever page, whatever, read question 3. So I flipped to it. I start reading a math problem, and we were supposed to read an English problem. And I'm like, so the whole class starts laughing at me. It's just lighthearted. It wasn't like, oh, you fucking idiot. But like the teacher kind of just went like, like, oh my God, like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I said page blah, blah, blah. And made some little comment, but how I took it was like, yo, you were stupid as fuck. So at that moment, with the class laughing at me feeling like I didn't even have a voice or nothing, and like just going through all of that shit, it was like, yo, like, why is this making noise? Sorry, my headphones tweaking. So at that moment, I was like, I'm fucking stupid. And then from then on there, from there on out, I would just get bad grades. And I was like, I started being like, yo, like, fuck school. Like, what is the point of grades? Like, there's life or death out here, and you're trying to tell me that fucking Pythagorean theorem or whatever the fuck you're teaching me is important? Like, yo, dude, come on now. So I was just checked out of school, man, and it was like, yo, you gotta go. You have to go. You gotta do good. Blah, 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 blah. And like, fortunately, my parents kind of understood. Yeah, I got my ass whooped here and there for it, but like, I just thought I was stupid. So thinking I was stupid just made me like angry, and it made me more angry because of my confusion. And I'm walking around school like confused as to how kids are just all willy-nilly, and I'm like, yo, like shit serious, this and that, and this is what I'm thinking. And I'm thinking I'm like imagine thinking you're dumb as fuck and life is super serious. Like that's who I was, and that's who I was like walking around in school and whatever, was like, yo, life is serious and I'm really stupid. So like how the fuck am I gonna get through this shit? So that's what I was thinking when I was in like second, third grade. And like in third grade, and this ties back into where I kind of like left off with like gang shit, was like when I was in third grade, the school was divided into two sides. And like I had a couple older homies who I knew from the neighborhood, and like I would go sneak over to the big kid side of the school, where it was like fourth through sixth graders, and on the small kid side of the school it was like kindergarten through third grade. So I'd go sneak over and see some of my bigger homies, and like, just whatever, chop it up, lace me up with game, whatever. And so I remember on that side of the school, it was like serious. Like you couldn't just go over there. They would beat you up. They would give you a swirly, like literally. For those of you who don't know what that is, if you're not old school enough, this is real, by the way. A lot of younger kids, when I tell them this, they'll be like, no, but like really. I'm like, no, this is really what would happen. Is kids would hold you by your ankles. They would take you in the bathroom, hold you upside down by your ankles, put your head in the toilet, and like dip your head up and down in the toilet as they flush the toilet a bunch of times, so your head swirls, and that's why they call it a swirly. So I remember like that was a real fucking thing. I seen that happen to a couple kids, and I'm like, that shit ain't happening to me. So like I started like I had this like, yo, I'm dumb, blah blah blah, but at the same time I'm like, I realized, I noticed, I know how to like not get swirlies, and I know how to not get picked on. So I kind of put all my energy and attention and focus into like, all right, like how do I navigate to where nobody fucks with me? And that was where, I kind of like started, getting this whole perspective. Oh, and just to kind of add to this, kind of paint this picture a little more clear. In third grade, I used to get chased. Me and my two friends, Puff and my homie Gerald, shout out you guys, we would get chased home every single day for like a year or two. And I can't even remember what grades this was, but it was probably like second, third grade. I know for sure third grade. But these fucking sixth graders, there was like 8 or 12, there was like 8 to 12 of them depending on the day. And these motherfuckers would chase us full fucking speed every single day. These motherfuckers would get out of class. Their class was like closer to the outside of the school, like ours was way in the back, so they would get out first and just wait every single time, and we see these guys and we're like, oh fuck. My one homie didn't even speak English, and then my other homie was the only other like mixed kid who was poor like me also, and it was like me and my homie Puff were like the two mixed kids who were like poor, and like we both had mullets and long hair, and we're both like wild and just like down as fuck. Like people didn't really fuck with us, honestly. But like these fucking guys would chase us home. Well, except these guys. And finally I'm just like, man, fuck this, dude. So like there was a point, we had trained in kung fu and shit, and I finally learned enough. I'm like, man, I'm gonna whoop some motherfuckers' asses, bro. Like, hell no. And I remember we finally fucking stopped and stood these motherfuckers. And sorry, I'm checking my timer. We finally stopped, stood these motherfuckers, and they just didn't do anything. And they just kept walking, it was just like, yo, like it's just a power trip, So like, what's interesting is I noticed around school, around third grade, when I started going to the big kid side of school, and I started getting tired of getting fucking bullied, I'm like, yo, those guys over there, they get hella respect. They don't get bullied. They got the fine ass girls, and they just look cool. And that was the fucking gangsters. And who that was like, I can't say too much. It was a first generation of an Asian gang around Miramay, so let's just say that. And these are some real motherfuckers. And I remember seeing them, I was like, yo, like they have the same look on their face as I do. And it was like pain, struggle, like, and just this like rugged, like don't fuck with me, like type of thing. And I just remember seeing that. I was like, yo, like, you guys look like me. And I was like, that respect, it just fucking like meant so much to me. And like, I remember they also too, because they're like immigrant kids, so they'd be wearing baggy ass clothes. They'd be sagging. I was sagging. I had on pants that I would literally fold around, like I would fold around myself twice and then tie a fucking belt around that. And like, so I was sagging because my pants were huge. I couldn't afford pants, and same with them. We're all rocking hand-me-downs, and that's why we were sagging our pants. But then later, other kids started doing that and shit. So like, excuse me. It became like a trend, you know? It's like, what the fuck? But it's interesting because that is what led me to seeing, yo, this is a way that people are. They're like me. They have got that pain. They got that struggle. They got that hardness. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, from there, I was like, yo, that's the respect I want. That's the attention I want. That's the demeanor I want. Like, ain't nobody fucking with me ever the fuck again. So, you know what I'm saying? And that's how I kind of got pointed towards that direction. So what we're going to do here real quick, we're going to take just a really, really quick break. All right, what up, everybody? We're back. Thank you for holding tight with us. So check this out. So where I left off was like, I started looking up to gangsters. I started hanging around I started hanging around gangs and gangsters and all this type of shit. So I worked my way up, go through 6th grade, all the way. Back at this time, 6th grade was in elementary school. That was the last year of elementary school. So went to Challenger for 7th and 8th grade, Challenger Middle School. That shit was fucking wild. I thought I was so fucking cool. I remember I was always like the youngest in my class because my birthday comes like it was or is the cutoff day for my grade. Like if I was born one day later, I would be in a grade younger. So, why am I saying that? So 7th grade, I'm 11 years old, and I remember I thought I was so fucking cool, dude. Like I thought I was fucking just Rico Suave, fucking not really, but like I would spend like 30 to 40 minutes doing my hair every single day. I would fucking I just thought I just took so much time, and like I always had girls hitting on me at the time. I just thought it was so cool. Like and I just remember like I knew how to fight, so I was like really confident. I was just like, nobody was really fucking with me. And I remember when I was 11, I first fucking smoked weed for the first time, first made out with a girl for the first time, got drunk for the first time. Like I was just like, I'm fucking grown the fuck up. Like, well, you can't tell me shit, dude. So then fast forward, I fucking suck at school. I got kicked out at 8th grade. I ended up doing homeschool in order to stay like in the same grade still. So I went to homeschool for 9th grade, and then went to Mira Mesa High for 10th grade, 11th grade. Part of 12th grade, I got kicked out. I got in a fucking fight. It was just all sorts of crazy shit. Oh, and then let me think if I'm missing anything. Oh, and then like when I've experienced a lot of death in my life. So there was, like I said, when I was a kid, my little sister, my grandma, my great aunt all passed away. Rest in peace. And then when I was 15, my second mom passed away, Dorothy, rest in peace. She was like second mom to me, you know, and that was my homie Puff's grandma technically, but she was our mom. She would give us spanking, she would feed us, she'd make us sit at the fucking table and fucking, you know, like all that shit. So it was interesting. Like I grew up really culturally diverse too. Like I said, I'm half Chinese, half Norwegian. My dad's Chinese, my mom's Norwegian. I grew up with Puff's mom as a second mom. It was a black family, so it was like I grew up fucking eating okra, collard greens, like the whole fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? Listening to like actually good rap music. We were bumping fucking X-Rated back in like 95. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. Like we were on some cool shit. What else was I going with that? And then but when we were 15, she passed away. Dorothy passed away, and that was fucking rough. I also grew up with a Peruvian family and actually a couple different Mexican families and a couple white families. So like I got a really good mix of like all the different types, you know. Oh, and of course Filipino families. I had, you know, shit. What up, aunties, uncles, all you guys. You know what I'm saying? Um, so yeah, it's like when it comes to different cultures and stuff, I was fortunate to grow up really diverse, and so growing up, you know, it's like I kind of had a really good understanding that equaled a lot of street smarts for me because understanding different cultures and ethnicities and the way that people did things, I didn't really have to ever like hate on things or question things or like not understand. It was like, oh, well, that's how those people handle things. You know what I'm saying? Um, so then let's see, let's fast forward. I get kicked out of high school in 12th grade. I get kicked out of Mira Mesa. I end up having to go to fucking HSDP. We called it H Slob for those of you that get gang jokes around Mira Mesa anyway, or San Diego, National City. Um, HSDP because there were, try not to burn people out. Um, so those letters equal what is a gang that was in San Diego that was in San Diego. And if you're a Crip, you would call different bloods. They were blood gang. You call them slobs. And try to think how else to explain this for people that didn't grow up like this. So it's just slang stuff. But so we called it H slob because whatever. Anyway, so it was a diploma program, and it was literally just this little bungalow attached to the side of the whole high school. And it was fucked up because I wasn't allowed on the high school. I was only allowed in this bungalow. And they put a fence right at the end of the bungalow. So it's like anytime I would try and sneak in to go see my friends or my girlfriend or whatever, it was like the security guards would run up, Calvin, out. And I'd be like, oh, motherfucker. Or I'd have headphones and just walk and like I'd be bumping music hella loud and they'd be like, man, I know you hear me. I know you hear me. I'm like, man, well then fuck. Like, go find my girl and tell her to meet me out here. So oh man, so I was getting into all sorts of trouble around like the later into high school. Where do I go with this? So I got so there's a lot of ways I can go with this. So for those of you that are familiar with California and more specifically like Southern California gang injunctions, it is some absolutely unfair, crazy shit how they use the power of it. It's absolutely not fair. Like, I do give it credit that it did get a lot of motherfuckers off the streets who you probably wouldn't want to come across in the streets, but like at the same time it went overboard and it fucked a lot of families and it fucked a lot of people. And it basically, what happened is if you got caught wearing a certain color, they would drive by, pull you over, and just write in the system, oh, you're a documented gang member of this gang. So literally I had like super white friends and like nerd homies, Mexicans, you know, black friends, all these different types of people get pulled over and be like, get documented as an Asian gang member because we're in like an Asian Crip neighborhood. And it was like, yo, like, you know, it's like, fuck, like, it's Asians here and it's Crips here, like, when, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? It doesn't even make sense. So, but what happens is once they give you that, they're allowed to pull you over and check all your shit for any reason from there on out. So I had like, because we were walking everywhere and it was like, yeah, half the time I was kicking it with some badass people, but like half the time I wasn't. And we would still get gang injunctions on fucking all these things or citations, whatever. And they would just fucking pull us over everywhere all the fucking time. So, what ended up happening was, how do I say this also? I gotta be careful because it's like some of these people can still get in trouble and stuff. So like, I gotta be careful how I say things. But it has been a long time. It's been well over it. It's been like almost 20 years. But there's just certain like gangs I can't say. So what happened was I ended up okay, so I had two friends who were gonna get into a fight with three guys. It just so happens that one of my friends was a Crip, the other guy wasn't. The other three were Bloods, and excuse me. So I saw two of my friends about to fight three guys. So I run up to go back them up. And what happens is one of the guys from the other side was going to pull out a gun. But then two undercovers jumped out of a fucking regular Mustang, regular street clothes, came running out at us with guns. I got fucking tackled to the floor. They fucking put the gun literally to my forehead. And I got fucked up, actually. They actually came back like way later and wrote an apology and apologized to my parents in person, because they did go overboard on me. But anyways, what happened was the guy who was going to pull out a gun ended up getting killed at a party a week later. And it just so happened that I had gotten into all this trouble to where I was in all these different files and all this other shit. So they ended up finding pictures of me at a party holding guns. And I realized that I kind of just said that maybe with no context. So back in the day, for you younger listeners, when you would take pictures, it was on film, and you would have to go take it to like Long's Drugs or CVS or Save On or whatever and get the film developed. And then what they would do is once they developed the film, your pictures, they would put it in a drawer and by alphabetical order. So you could actually literally go and like pick up and look through anybody's pictures if you wanted to. So what happened was the cops were just out looking for, or not even the cops, but the CIA? No, not CIA, the DEA. The DEA went and was searching through all the stuff, just looking for evidence or dirt on anybody. And they happened to find pictures of me holding guns at a party. And I'm like, and so that, they use that as a probable cause to be able to come and like, and fuck with me or whatever. So they came, they raided my house. I didn't have anything because I didn't fucking kill this guy. I didn't even know anything about it. So they raid my house, and I'm like the prime suspect just because of all these like coincidences that kind of lined up. I was under surveillance for like a year and a half, maybe. I couldn't wear blue. I couldn't wear anything with the letter C. I couldn't be caught around certain people. If I was caught with any of these things, it was a one-way ticket to jail. And like, it was fucked up. Like, but I didn't do it. I was innocent. Nothing happened ultimately other than I got my house raided, and that was fucking shameful as can be. I woke up to fucking DEA agents. There's like, I come out of my room, and like I come down the hallway, and I see like tips of like the barrels, like the tip of a gun all around the hallway, making like a circle almost. I'm like, what the fuck? And my dad was kind of like not freaking out. So like, I'm like, okay, like what's going on? And like I come out, they're all fucking pointing rifles at me. I'm standing in my underwear and wife beater, and fucking, they're like, put your hands on your head, blah, 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 and it made me sit there. And I don't remember if I remember they gave me the option to get cuffed, and I was like, bro, like I'm not going anywhere. I don't have anything. They fucking tore my whole fucking room apart, dude. So that happened. Got accused of murder. Within the next year or two, I fucking, what happens? There's all sorts of fights, all sorts of this and that. So I end up, which way we're going with this? So I have a bunch of jobs. My main jobs that I would have was always like sales types of jobs. I used to work at Aqua Magic Massage, where it's like little massage booth in La Jolla Village Square. I used to work at Sears in UTC. I was making commission there. I was getting paid $4.50 an hour plus commission, and I was making loot until Sears and Kmart merged. Actually, I was averaging like $22 to $26 an hour as like a 17-year-old. That was fucking loot. Like that's more money than a lot of people even make now. So that was pretty cool. Then from there, I got a sales job at Fun Bike Center. That was the craziest job with the craziest people I've ever met in my fucking life, and I would not change it for anything. Shout out to my Fun Bike people. You motherfuckers, 06, 07 era Fun Bike. I mean, maybe for some of you vets there were some crazier times, but yo, that was like the last of like an era, dude. Like you could fucking do anything you wanted. As long as you brought in some fucking money, dude. Like, oh man, that I should dedicate a whole story or a whole podcast episode to just Fun Bike Center stories. I'm telling you.
dude.
Anyways, we'll get into that another time. So oh, okay, just so I don't forget. So then after that, I worked at Staples, and then after that, I've been working for myself ever since then. So what I'm gonna do is go back just a little bit. We're gonna go back to like 2006, 2007 at Fun Bike Center, and I know I said I was gonna tell stories about this later, but this just is the time period, so I'm not really telling a story about it. But this is more personal and pretty fucking cool, actually. So in 2007, right before Halloween, actually, October 2007, I broke my skull, neck, and back. And so what happened was I flipped my quad out in the desert, and I broke. I realize I say this so casually now because I realize I tell a lot of people and they're just like used to my story or over it or whatever. So like to make sure I really paint the picture for you guys, I don't just paint pictures, I picture paint. Just kidding. I don't know. That's Kodak Black says that. So I broke my skull, neck, and back. I flipped my quad out in Gordon's Wells, out in the dunes, probably off like I don't know, like 6 or 12 foot drop. But me and the homies, shout out Broughton, shout out Ryan. We were fucking mobbing. We were like jumping these whole things. Most of the time, people just go up, roll over sideways, and then like go down it. And we were just fucking launching these things like fourth gear, like fucking smashing. Like fourth gear on a 450 quad is probably like 50, like halfway through about fourth gear is like about 55 miles an hour. So we're like mobbing these things, and we're fucking jumping, and right before I hit one, there's like a hump and then the jump, and it like caused the quad to like buck, and like the back, like the ass end of the quad swung up backwards, like it did a front flip. I thought I could save it because like I'm a pretty experienced rider, and I was like, sure, like I started pulling it back and leaning back and giving it gas, and like it was just the impact was just, or the force was too much, and it just flipped, and I was holding onto the quad. So imagine you turn how you sit on a quad, turn the whole thing upside down, add 55 miles an hour and 12 feet of air, and fucking stuff that head first into the ground, into the sand. That's what happened to me. I snapped my skull, neck, and back in 8 places. Right when that happened, I heard it all go, and I jumped up, and I fucking ran in a circle like a chicken with its head cut off, and then I just collapsed. And I'm like, yo, holy shit, like what the fuck just happened? And every time I get up, like I said, I'm always like really tough. Like I get the fuck up. Like there's no holding me down or stopping me from shit, you know? And I'm like, I can't fucking move. Like, no. And I just refuse to believe that I couldn't move. And it's like, well, what the fuck does that mean? Well, what that means is like, I couldn't fucking move. I couldn't move my fingers. I couldn't move my arms, my legs, nothing. I couldn't do anything. It was just my brain was the only thing that was working. And I just sat there. I closed my eyes. All these people came around. Some drunk dude pulled up in an old school Rhino, jumped down, was like, oh, bro, you all right, bro? Like, I remember, just to make sure I throw this in there, I remember I was wearing a Camelback backpack, and it was filled with like water and tools and whatever. Oh, and beer and weed and like. So I remember I was like, help! It was the only time I had to scream for help in my life, and it was because my back was like arched up because my backpack was on my back, and it made my head fall backwards, and I just felt like I was like gonna die like every millisecond that went by. And finally, this drunk ass dude that jumps out of the Rhino, and this was before my friends could turn around and see me. Or they had like just turned around, and this guy was like, get my fucking backpack off. He helps me take the backpack off, and I just lay there, and I just like, I can't feel anything, dude. And I'm like, oh my God, like this is it. This is my greatest fear. And that literally was my greatest fear, was to break my neck or to like be paralyzed or like some shit like that. So I'm laying there, I'm like, I just close my eyes, and by this point there's a bunch of people circled around me. My homie Burton's like, bro, get up. Like Ryan's like, come on, bro, like you're cool, man, get up, you know? And like Broughton, my motherfucking boy, shout out Broughton, I fucking love you, dude. He's like, he's also one of these people who's just like, all his heart is always willing to help, and he's always like, he's just a fucking great person. And he's also one of these people who's just a tough ass motherfucker. Like he's a tough motherfucker. Like he's not gonna stop. he understands. Him and I recognize that in each other. It's like, yo, bro, like, I know you're gonna fucking get up and keep going, no matter what. And he was like, bro, get up, man, come on, let's go. And I was like, I can't. And he didn't even question me, which I thought was weird, because he's a tough motherfucker, he's just like, whoa, it's like that. And I'm like, yeah, bro. And he's like, fuck. And then I forget if it was him or Ryan was like, well, shit, what's in your backpack? Let's go hide it all. So they dug a hole and buried all my beer, and we buried the weed or whatever in the sand. They took whatever they could, and they fucking carried my bike back to camp and brought it back home. They were about to drive out to Arizona for me. All this shit, man. Like, I'm forever grateful for that, man. Like, that was, man, Burton saved my life, and he's going to be a guest on the show. And we actually have that one recorded. We just did that just a little bit ago. You guys are in for a real fucking treat, because it's not every day you meet people like him. So, yeah. And speaking of guests, we're going to have some fucking ill ass guests on here. We already do. I just been loading up the vault with fucking timeless classics. Now, mark my words when I say timeless, because these interviews we're having and these conversations we're having, like I said, they're the conversations that need to be fucking had. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us don't grow up with like dads or mentors or somebody to just fucking talk to us, or a bigger brother or something, and it's like, or just no big homies or something. And it's like, if you didn't grow up with that, and you didn't join a fraternity, you didn't join the military, you didn't join a gang, you didn't have that type of experience, like, I think this is perfect for people like that fall into that category as well. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, we need to have these conversations, and we all feel the same shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think that there's a level of emotional intelligence that we can bring forth and like really fucking participate in and share and spread. Like, I've been on some crazy shit in the past couple years. So like, I'm trying to think, okay. So going back to the story, I forgot I'm timelining shit here. I can go off on a million different things. So what happened? I broke my skull, neck, and back. What ends up happening is, I'm gonna just throw this into a quick summary version, and then maybe jump into a little if I need to. So I'm 20 years old. My two best friends get murdered. Oh, sorry. Let me rephrase this. I'm 20 years old. My one best friend gets murdered. Shout out John O'Day. I love you. Rest in peace. I break my skull, neck, and back. Oh, and I'm 2 months away from being a firefighter. That was where I was going to be. I was going to be a firefighter. I was that fucking close from finishing training. And I break my skull, neck, and back. I find out my girl of 5.5 years gets pregnant by somebody else. While I have a broken neck, my best friend got murdered right before this. So, and I got fired from my job. So I have a broken neck, and I can't really fucking walk. I'm just like bedridden. I have a broken neck. I have a broken skull, neck, and back. My two best friends got murdered. My girl cheated on me and got pregnant by somebody else. I just dropped out of school, and I just got fired from my job.
Damn, dude.
Like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, I was 20 years old. Like, what the fuck? I thought I'd already seen everything by the time I was 11. I thought I'd already seen everything by the time I was 6. Then I thought I'd seen everything by the time I was 11. Then I thought I'd already seen everything by the time I was 15. And then 20, I'm like, I am grown the fuck up, dude. Like, what the fuck? Like, life cannot be or get any worse. Like, how can it? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck else can happen? You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's crazy, dude. Like, I realized, before I forget this, I should jot this down, how it ties into being a kid and the decisions we made. So I go through all of that. I'll get into this too, and because this all turns really positive. So all of that happens, I'm dealing with that. And what's crazy is, me and my friends, the life we were living, we had conversations like, bro, like, I don't think I'm gonna make it past 20 years old. Like, this life we're living, this route we're going, like, is just, I don't see how, you know? And it's crazy because my two best friends get murdered at 20 years old. And I happen to be alive Like, the fuck? Why are them eyes still alive? And why am I going through all this torture? Like, the fuck is life doing to me? You know what I'm saying? And my second best friend who got murdered, Pablo Spider, Pablo Tafoya, rest in peace, homie. Little Dreamer. What else you know him as? Pubes. Fuck, man, that's my motherfucking brother. Tatted on my arm and everything, you know what I'm saying? And my sister. I got all sorts of people. But like, anyway, oh man, like we were going down a fucking crazy ass lifestyle, I'll tell you that. My homie Pablo ends up getting murdered in Little Italy over $20 worth of weed, which is fucking mind blowing to think now. It wasn't even his own weed. I'll get into that in a whole nother story, and it's crazy. There's like fucking more than $20 worth of weed in this little jar, even fucking right here, you know. And it's like my fucking best friend lost his life over that. It's crazy. Like I said, that's a whole nother story. I'm not afraid to get deep in the shit. That was pretty good timing. So what ends up happening is like I need to recover, bro. Like, fuck, I'm all fucked up. So I had my broken neck. I was in the hospital for 3 days, and I was on some Tupac shit. So when I was sorry, like I said, I'm all over the place. When I was laying there with my broken neck in the first place, I was like, toes. Come on, toes. I remember what it feels like to use you. And slowly I just brought attention and awareness. And I'm like, I refuse to believe that my toes and legs would not work anymore. This might sound crazy as fucking out there, but this is just what the fuck happened. Take it as you want. And I just kind of like thought life back into each piece of my limbs, and somehow they fucking started working. So on my 3rd day of the hospital, I'm gonna have to get into that story too, because that fucking goes hard. My broken neck story, though, like in detail. I got to fly on a helicopter butt ass naked, by the way. My only helicopter flight was butt ass naked with a broken neck. Well, I guess that's a whole other story. So I'm like in the hospital by the 3rd day, I had already been sneaking to get up and like shuffle to the bathroom. I was like just practicing teaching myself to walk again. And they're like, you could die if you move, blah, 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 if you fall. I was like, man, fuck this, dude. Like, I didn't die on that jump. Like, I'm not gonna, if I die fucking walking, so be it, dude. Like, I don't give a fuck. So I forced myself. I taught myself to walk again. And like, I would just practice when the nurses were sleeping. And I would walk to the bathroom, walk back, walk to the bathroom, walk back. And it was fucking sucked. But like, I managed to do it. And I would hold that little rolling thing with all the IVs and shit in it. And like, by day 3, I was out of that motherfucker. And I came home. Yeah. So let's take a quick break on that note. Fuck, man, that's some crazy shit. We're gonna get into some even crazier, deeper shit, and we're gonna even catch back up on modern times. But I want to kind of keep this sort of timeless. So I don't really want to jump into current events. Not today, maybe, I don't know. But we'll see. We're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back. Dude. We're back, but you know what? Give me 1 second. I'm gonna smoke a bowl real quick. Let's play you some theme music here real quick. This is our intro song, by the way, so enjoy. All right. Alright, that's what it is. I got some fire ass weed from my brother for Christmas. Shout out, chimps. Alright, so what am I getting into? I had so much shit that I had written down in my notes and like done practice episodes for, and I just scrapped them because like it came off too like rehearsed feeling, or like I'm trying to stick to an order. And as soon as I like stopped following the order, like when I'm listening back to the old podcast, as soon as I stopped listening to that order, and I started like just kind of like free flowing, like the podcast just got way more funner. So I decided to just start this just right off the bat. Like fucking, I don't give a shit if it's all over the place, or like my intro of myself, or fucking stuff I wanted to talk to like got glazed over, because I'm gonna get into that and it'll come out in different episodes and different interviews and shit like that. Oh, so before I start diving into like what I do and why I do what I do. I'm gonna talk about oh, let's talk about some shit I'm into. What am I into? Well, I love fucking rap music, West Coast rap music. Bone Thugs and Harmony is my favorite fucking group. Crazy Bone specifically is my favorite artist. Crazy Bone, Nate Dogg, um, Crazy Bone and Nate Dogg are probably my top two favorite. I love fucking West Side Connection, Mac Dre, Andre Nicotina. I love fucking Texas rap. Oh my god. Fucking UGK, you know what I'm saying? Bun B, Pimp C, rest in peace, Pimp. Um, Fucking Slim Thug, fucking Paul Wall. Uh, Old school Riff Raff. Before Riff Raff got famous, when he was doing shit like fly, like fly red dragon on a stretch pearl rug, like when when he was on some like oh I if you don't know, I can't explain to you. Like you can't even find this old shit on the internet anymore. Um, but that's not like a great example of Texas rap, but like no, I could go on, you know what I'm saying? Like fucking Zero, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Anyway, even fucking Mike Jones era was pretty hard to be honest. Um yeah, like Lil Kiki, like I know all the, you know, fucking underground shit too, you know what I'm saying? I love me some fucking SPM, South Park Mexican. I feel like that fool is Mexican Tupac. Um, what else? Let's see. Fucking, I'm forgetting a lot of shit. Of course, grew up on like DPG, fucking Daz, Corrupt, all the Snoop shit, fucking MC8. Uh, you know what I'm saying? All of that. I'm also into like all the white boy music too. You know what I'm saying? But like, I'm particular about it. It's got to be like kind of more like hardcore type of feel. Well, I'm using that term wrong. I don't know. I guess for example, I would like System of a Down, fucking Suicidal Tendency, Sublime, Red Hot Chili Peppers. You know what I'm saying? Some shit like that. On another tip, like fucking Nako Bear and Medicine for the People. Nako Bear is fucking goes. That's some beautiful fucking music. Shout out to Nako. Maybe we'll have him on the podcast someday. I got to meet him actually. I think twice. Anyways, and then that's for like old school rappers. For new school rappers, oh man, I like new school rappers to be honest. Not all of them, but like a lot. First that comes to mind is the homies. And you'll see these fools. They're fucking everywhere. Let me think here real quick. What do I want to say? I guess I'll just shout out people and fuck. Be on the lookout for Cashy SD, at Cashy SD. Look out for Dana Mar at Dana Mar, AMAR, DANE. Like those are my people and they're fucking on the motherfucking come up right now. And no, I slap their shit all the time. Fucking outside, and that's like San Diego. Outside of that, and like I said, we can go deep into each one of these subjects. I'm just kind of like going off whatever's off the dome, right off the dome piece. Oh shit, I forgot to set the timer. And then like and then more like mainstream would be like I like Kodak Black. I've been slapping the shit out of Kodak Black lately. Kodak goes fucking hard, dude. He got bars. Holy shit. And then of course mixtape Wheezy. Fucking I like any of the Carters, any of the Droughts. Those are all good. What else? Oh, new school. What am I thinking? That's new school. King Lil G. King Lil G is one of the absolute realest rappers of all fucking time. If you say there's no real music anymore, go listen to King Lil G, Cold Christmas. That's King Lil G, Cold Christmas. Just go listen to that shit. I never met King Lil G, but I would love to smoke a blunt with him, have him on the podcast someday. What else? I'm into fucking BMX bikes, old school BMX bikes though. Like 80s GTs, early 90s even, you know, like Haros and you know what I'm saying? Just all that shit. That's a whole topic and conversation on its own too. What else am I into? Oh, motorcycles. Obviously, I fucking love motorcycles. Dirt bikes, street bikes, three wheelers, quads, fucking anything. What am I riding right now? Currently is for the dirt. We got a two stroke. We got a YZ 250, a Yamaha YZ 250. That is, it's ported, polished, piped, jetted. That motherfucker is one of the fastest bikes I've ever fucking touched in my life. Actually, it's so stupid, scary fast. Like, I don't. Something else had to have been done to this thing before I bought it because it's absolutely fucking terrifying. um, so we got that. We got a XR80. My son rides. We got a KL. Oh, it's a Honda XR80. Those you don't know. We got a Kawasaki KLX 110. That was my little man's first bike. I got. We got a little pit bike that's broken. We got an 84 Honda ATC 250R. Unfortunately, it's the air cooled one, but it's still fucking pretty illmatic. It's really clean. We got another one called the Death Mobile. It's like a Yamaha. I want to say like XT or YT. I don't even know. It's like one of those weird old school ones, but it's a fucking two stroke with a twist throttle and no suspension and balloon tires. It's called the Death Mobile because every person outside of our family who's ever ridden it has gotten fucking jacked up. And then we've got, oh, my pops has got I want to say it's like a 70 something, a 1970 something Honda CR250 Elsinore. That shit's crazy. Unfortunately, it's fucking seized, but I mean, it's a two stroke. That's not shit to get rebuilt, so we got to do that. What else am I into? I would say I'm also, so what I do and what I'm into and where this story actually picks up off of, from after breaking my neck and all that. I was working at Staples. Oh no, sorry. Before I started working at Staples, actually. So I was at Phone Bike Center and I broke my neck and I'm at home and I'm just like all fucked up, and my homegirl ends up hooking me up with a job actually. But before that job, I'm there with my broken neck and me and my mom are in the kitchen and we're just chopping it up, and it's like, dude, like, we need to figure out fucking something to do, man. Like, we need because she needed a new career at the time, and like, I need a new career. And it's like, man, like, I don't, like, what are we gonna do? Like, I was gonna be a firefighter, you know? Like, it's always been in my heart to help people. And to have that kind of like taken from me, it felt like I was just like, man, like, I'm not gonna be a firefighter. I don't even know what to do, you know? So we come up with this idea of like, yo, like, we can teach babies how to swim and save their lives. And we find out that, yo, like, drowning is the leading cause of death for children 5 and under. Or sorry, it's the leading cause of accidental death for children 5 and under in the world. 5, like, in the world. And the statistic is actually, it keeps growing. But when I first started, it was something like, I want to say like 46 or 47% of adults in the world can't swim. Now the statistic has jumped to something like 52 or 55% of adults in the world can't swim. And I know statistics are just fucking whatever, but like, in my personal experience, I feel like pretty much about half of my clients that I have do not know how to swim, like adults. So sorry, I'm like, whoa, dropping stuff. Okay, sorry, dropping my phone. So what we did was we put our heads together. It's like, yo, let's teach babies how to fucking swim and save their lives. So what we do is we teach babies as young as 6 months old how to swim and save their lives, and how to float, roll on their back, and be able to swim and float and swim and float. And all of our kids pass the fully clothed skills test by the end of their swim session, which only takes like a little bit over a month. It's about like 6 to 8 weeks typically. So it's like a month and a half, or sorry, not a month and a half. Like, you know what I'm saying? A little over a month. It's like a month and a half, 2 months. Sometimes even in a month. So it all depends on the kid, you know. But it's crazy because we're able to, so it's like, yo, like, we can save people's lives by doing this. So we kind of came up with that idea, and as we're getting it ready and perfecting technique and just kind of like honing our craft, I start working at Staples. My homegirl hooks me up with a job, and like it was cool because all my friends worked there, and it was just a fun time, you know. And like at the same time, I was starting this business on the side, and so this is 2008. We get started in 2008, and it was November. No, yeah, it was November 2008, and I had like just like fully healed back up from my broken neck, and I just started like kind of like exercising a little more and started like, you know, like really like living life again, and so I'm like working this business on the so I'm working at Staples, and I'm trying to start this business on the side, and it's like it's fucking hard, man. Like it's hard to paint a picture of what I really do without you like being there and seeing from like beginning to end, you know, and like how deep this is and how like emotional it is for parents, and then like at the end like or so like how much fear we push through as a team, you know, and then at the end like your kid has life-saving skills and the family has peace of mind. And it's fucking incredible. So like, that's what we do. And it's called Fin to Swim. So what we do is like, just fucking teach babies how to swim and save their lives, help adults overcome their lifelong fears. And you know what I'm saying? That's what we do, and provide peace of mind to families. And it's like, yo, I fucking love this, man. So I've been doing that for the past 11 years now, because it's 2020 right now. It's December 2020. So it's been, damn, I didn't even realize an anniversary of it just happened. Yeah, that makes 11 years. So, fuck, man. You know, wait, is that math even right? Hold on, I'm tripping. From 2020 to 2020 minus 2008. Oh, 12 years. Holy shit, it's been 12 years. I'm tripping. Yo, it's been 12 years. I've been doing this for 12 years now. I can confidently say I'm a master at my craft when it comes to teaching babies and teaching people how to swim and overcome fears. I remember I didn't learn how to swim till I was like 11 or 12 years old. So I can actively remember what it's like being afraid to swim or to jump in the deep end or to like trust that I can float and or stuff like that, you know? So now what I do is like we've slowly been evolving the business just over time, you know, and my mom actually retired last year, so it's actually just me now. And I've just been developing and trying to shape this in a way that works best for me. You know, I'm like, I know this is dope as fuck what I'm doing, but there's like gotta be a better way where I could reach more people and do this in like an easier way. So what I'm doing is a lot of times is I'll sell swim packages. And it's like, it just makes it hassle free, you know? And it's like, yo, you just pay this once and you don't ever have to worry about charging it this and that every month, week, whatever. And it's like, because I know how long it takes, we can sell that, you know, we can sell that package, and then we can sell it with a couple extra weeks on it to like, you know, just to teach some skills out or just to keep the skills fresh or refreshers or, you know, however you want to call it, maintenance classes. And so that's what we do now. And what I'm looking to do is just kind of shift that to really higher end clients and higher end packaging. I'm just now kind of learning about all this, you know, like I've been in business for 12 years and I still don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I don't know anything about business. I don't know anything about anything, honestly, but like, no, it's not true. I know some shit about shit. But I'll never pretend to know something that I don't know. That's one thing you guys can always like trust from me. Excuse me. So like, yeah, dude, it's pretty trippy. I think that let me think. So how do we catch up all of that to like where we're at now? I would say that like, yo, why? So this is kind of funny. I'll go into my ego real quick. I'm big on jumping into like some really deep shit sometimes. I'm definitely like old school, like don't fuck with me. at the same time, I'm like, yo, I love you. I got love for everybody. I even got love all tatted on my face, in case you're wondering. For those of you watching video, what that says. Um, and yes, I tattooed my face without a SoundCloud career. Wait, this might be found on SoundCloud, so shit. um, oh, where was I going with that, dude? I'm tripping. Oh, so like, I'm into spiritual shit. I'm into fucking plant medicines. I'm into meditation. Um, I'm into just fucking whatever scares me, do that. And this podcast scares the shit out of me. Every time before I get on camera, I freak the fuck out. And so I've done things like go to the middle of the jungle in Peru, in the middle of the fucking Amazon, like 5 hours deep into the Amazon jungle, and like worked with tribes and shamans. And I have family out there, you know what I'm saying? Like those people are my family. And where we just would do crazy fasts and do ceremonies, ayahuasca ceremonies. You know what I'm saying? I'm super into that. I believe that all these plant medicines are ancient technology, and it's a means of accessing certain information in a certain realm, and accessing certain energies and stuff like that. So you'll hear me dive into stuff like that. I'm not afraid to fucking sound crazy on some shit, but at the same time, I do like to explain like where I'm coming from with it. So you'll hear me talk about my ego or whatever, like how I'll come from my ego, or I'm coming from an authentic place. And it's like, I believe that like those are two definite places that we can come from. And I'm a man of simplification. I always love to simplify, especially when it comes to ideas or my lifestyle or the way I think or what I believe. So what I've boiled it down to is like we either come from love or fear, and those are the only two places that I believe we can come from. Because I went back and did the math on my whole life. I was like, yo, if I apply coming from love or fear in every single thing that's ever happened in my life, I'm like, yeah, I can see how I was coming from love or a place of fear. And so where that leads me to is like, okay, so why do I think I'm cool? You know how people be like, oh, you think you're fucking cool, you know? Like, so that would be like the ego side of me, like why I think I'm even fucking cool at all, like what stroked my ego, you know what I'm saying? Like what made me think I'm fucking cool is like, I guess, you know, being in business young, making money young, that made me think I was really fucking cool. I really wasn't making real money, because I'm still not making any fucking real money, but like for a young, you know, being young, it's like, yo, this is some fucking paper, dude. So like, you know, well shit, yeah, going from making like $175 a week to making like all of a sudden like 5,000 in a week, you know, it was like, holy shit. And you know, it wasn't consistent, but it was like here and there that would happen, and I'm like, yo, this is fucking sick. So so there was that. I had money. I could kind of just buy whatever I wanted, and then, or you know, to a degree. And then I ended up dating this really hot older rich girl, and fuck, she was really hot. But that's besides the point. Well, no, it's not besides the point. This is what stroked my ego. She was super duper hot, super duper rich, and she was one of those like untouchable, like unicorn of a woman. Like my other friends would, like female friends described her as like intimidatingly hot. Like she's intimidatingly gorgeous. And she'll let me drive around in her fucking brand new Beamer. I was driving a 7 Series Beamer or a brand new Escalade. Keep in mind they're not mine, but when I'm pulling up on my homie to buy a fucking sack, like, and I'm in a brand new Beamer and I got this fucking banging ass chick, it's like, bro, like, yo, that business is good, huh? And it's funny because it's like, I'd be like, well, yeah. And I was like, well, shit, I'm selling weed and I'm fucking running this business. And, you know, and so then I quit that department, that Staples job, like after I worked there for maybe like almost 2 years. I was like one of the longest jobs I had actually. So, I quit that eventually. I should get into that. That's pretty important. I was having fucking panic attacks. So much so, like anxiety attacks, which would lead to panic attacks, and like the walls would start closing in on me, you know, just be like, oh, and I would turn hot and I would turn red and I'll start fucking sweating. And like, I'm just like super hot blooded naturally the way I am, you know, I'm like, my blood comes from Mongols and Vikings. Like legitimately. So like I'm just hella hot blooded, and like I don't have a hot temper, but I'm hot blooded for sure. And the fuck was I saying? I'm totally spacing out. I don't know. Fuck it. Um, so okay, so like so like what was stroking my ego? So there was that, and I was making loot. I was fucking selling a good amount of weed at that time, back when it was still like super illegal. Um, I could afford drinks whenever we'd go out. I could afford all of that. Oh, I was talking about having panic attack. This is important to have this story. Um, so when I'm working there, like at one point, eventually, I was like, I freaked the fuck out. They were like, we have a mandatory meeting, and they called us into this fucking small ass room, and I'm just like, oh, and the like, because the walls just start closing in on me, and I'm just like, like I thought I was gonna die, dude. Like I felt like I was in jail, and I fucking just start sweating and freaking out, and I fucking run out of the store. Oh, just to add to that, what I was gonna say was, you'll see in some of my interviews, I get nervous because it scares the shit out of me doing these interviews, and being on film talking. It scares the fuck out of me. So you'll see there's a good handful of times where I start sweating or turning all red, or like, and if you're watching the video, and that's what's going on. I'm like, something triggers me to where I'm like, oh no, like I feel like naked almost, you know? Anyway, fuck, I keep forgetting what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, so I was having panic attacks. I freaked the fuck out. So I just left, and I didn't fucking talk to anybody until I eventually, they were like, okay, you can take a leave of absence, and fucking a hell amount of time went by, and I'm just like, nah, man, like I can't go back there. I just can't. So eventually, I didn't answer any calls from anybody. Like I just kind of, it was pretty fucked up. I burnt the whole place. I feel bad. Like I shouldn't have done that, but like at the same time, I couldn't fucking help it, dude. I was losing my shit. So a bunch of time goes by, maybe like a month or two, and I'm like, I have a choice here. Like I could either go back and do this job. I hate it. Like my friends had stopped working there. They had transferred out. We got put on different shifts. So like it just started to suck. You know, I'm like, yo, like I'm only here for so long because my friends are here. And like, it was a trip, you know what I'm saying? So I hated working retail. I hated being told what to do. I hated being told when to be there. Like I would literally only get paid enough to drive home and back and eat maybe like 2 meals a week that cost like $10 maybe. Everything else I would have to pay like literally oftentimes my lunch when I was working there, or my whole meal for the day, would be like, I would go there, I'll get 1 chicken strip and 2 potato wedges, and it would cost me like $1.30. And then after work, I would go get like a chicken sandwich from Carl's Jr., and that would be like $1 something. And that was like all I could afford, you know? And I hated it, man. I hated it. So that's when I was like, after I freaked out, I'm like, yo, dude, like, I'm either gonna go full in with the swimming thing and just fully trust myself, start charging what I'm worth for this, and like just fucking just go, you know? So finally I manned the fuck up, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck that. I'm not going back to that fucking job. I'm gonna do this shit. Excuse me. And so I'm like, yo, like fuck that. So I just start grinding it out, and I start advertising, and I start fucking just telling everybody, finding kids, babies, going to every fucking Red Cross meeting I could go to, going to every fucking pool meeting, fucking whatever, symposium, you name it. Started going to all of these things, and like just started kind of making a presence, and like we kind of would come with this like purposeful presence, you know, like we would kind of be like the scary new guys where it's like, what the fuck are these guys doing? Because everybody in this is like older and like very reserved, and like I came in and would have like tattoos, and I would wear all black with white print, and it would just be like super intimidating looking, and like my hair looked different, I looked different, the way I talk was different, and it was like kind of like, yo, like what the fuck? And I was just doing it just to be like, yo, like I'm here, you know? It doesn't really mean anything other than like I'm here. So so going back to like why the fuck I think I was cool is because it's like I was doing all this, I was grinding, and I was fucking driving in these cool ass cars, dating the hottest fucking girl, you know, it was like having the girl of my dreams, and like it was just dope, you know. It's like I was just getting whatever I wanted, and like um you know, I had a dope ass motorcycle, fucking all this shit. Um so oh shit. All right. So you know what? Um our camera just kicked the bucket, but it's all good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a break real quick and just kind of touch back on we'll pick up on the story. Um so we'll be right back. 1 second here. All right, welcome back, guys. Appreciate it. So just to pick up where we left off, so like why I thought I was so fucking cool. um so keep in mind I'm fucking 20. I want to say by this time 7 21. So I was like 22 years old. Yeah, so I'm 22 years old, and this rich hot ass girl I'm with is 31 or 32. And so I thought I was a fucking shit, dude. I'm hanging out in mansions, fucking smoking blunts in the pool, in the fucking house. It was just fucking crazy. And it was like I thought I was a fucking rap star, you know what I'm saying? That was like legit how it felt. And then after that, I started getting into personal development, and I'm just fucking, you know, like, oh, backtrack a little. No, oh, duh, how can I even forget this? Another thing I'm into is surfing. I fucking love surfing. Oh, and I forgot to mention all my street bikes. I forgot. That's a whole nother thing, but I love street bikes too. So I started surfing actually right after I broke my neck. So I started surfing in November of 2008. And I started surfing in San Diego winter storm water, which, if you guys know, then you fucking know. That's just pretty damn gnarly, especially to be a fucking brand new beginner fucking Barney. I wasn't even a kook yet, dude. I was just a full-on Barney, dude. But what I did was I was so fucking hooked and so determined, and like, why in the first place was because the doctor, he banned me from riding motorcycles, skateboarding, or surfing. And when he told me surfing, I was like, like I grew up in a town of Asian gangsters. Like nobody fucking surfs, you know? Like I don't even know anybody who surfs. So what I did was I went and bought a board, a fucking Costco board, a Wavestorm, Team Wavestorm, shout out. And Wavestorm, yo! Oh! And fucking, I literally went every single day for an entire year straight. Literally every single day. I broke my pinky fingers 6 times. I would just fucking tape it to a popsicle stick or a plastic spoon and then fucking wrap the whole thing up, and then I would throw on one of those bodyboarding gloves where it's like it separates your fingers, but I would stuff 2 fingers into one hole so it would hold it even more secure, and that way I could still paddle without putting all the pressure on the rest of my hand. But I look like a fucking maniac because I have a suit that's an extra large and I'm a large, and if you're a surfer, you know how big of a difference that is. It's like a gigantic difference. Like your suit can suffocate you if it's that big of a size difference and the wave hits you. Like it'll literally go over your head. So what would happen is like my suit would inflate. I'd be walking around with the Kool-Aid Man fucking like legs and everything. Like it would just be filled with water and be like flubber and shit. And so I had that. And of course it was the kook ass colors too, where it's like that off gray, where like the main suit's like this weird black, and then it has like weird blue in it, and then like this weird gray. It's like this blue and gray that's this particular like, yo, I'm an off-brand suit. Like you can spot it a mile away once you like know wetsuits and stuff. So I had the kook ass wetsuit that's too big, the fucking one bodyboarding glove I would have one hand broken, and I had a fucking big blue Wavestorm with 0 instructions. So yeah, all I had was stubbornness. So like, and just determination, I guess, because I just kept fucking going. Once I rode once for like a couple seconds, I'm like, yo, this is the shit. Like, hooked, dude, hooked. Like they say, once you get bit by the surfing bug, you're infected for life, and that's a fucking fact, man. Um, so that's how I started surfing, and I actually even started teaching surf lessons on the side. Well, by request, I should say. Because that kind of keeps the spirit of it alive for me. Surfing is almost like a spiritual. See, not like it is a spiritual experience for me when I go out. So it's not something I want to sell. I just want to give it to people who seek it. Yeah, so it's interesting because I started going so much. People were just like, "Yo, can you teach me? Can you teach me? I'll pay you. I'll pay you." So that's another thing I firmly believe in is like if you do what you love to the fullest, people will just start paying you. And that's what I'm trying to do here with this podcast too. Honestly, is like I've had so many crazy experiences that people are like, you really did that? And I'm just like, yeah, dude. Like, and I know people, and there is people who do even crazier shit, and I want to pick the brains of those people, you know. So that ties back into like this whole ego part of me is like, I want to where was I going? Me thinking I'm all cool, you know, the hot older girl. Oh, driving around nice cars, smoking a lot of weed. Oh my god, I was smoking like an ounce a week, dude. Like a zip a week back when a zip was like $3.50 standard. That stupid. Yeah, it was stupid. So and this was back in like 2000. Well, shit, I was already smoking fat back in the day, but like I don't know, 2008. So it was still like pretty illegal, you know. But yeah, I was smoking fucking, I don't know, anywhere from like 5 to 12 blunts a day and just fucking going ham. Back then we would fucking roll up an eighth backwood, and it had to be an eighth. If it was anything less than an eighth, it couldn't go in a backwood. And just a little history lesson for you people. If you don't know, a lot of these youngsters are out here smoking backwoods, and they don't even know why they're smoking backwoods. Why are you smoking backwoods? Why? Do you even know why? Because your homies like, yeah, because fucking you heard somebody say it. Like, do you know why? Where did it come from? Who started it? Come on, you guys. If you don't know this, you ain't a fucking West Coast hip hop fan or a real West Coast pothead. Because the answer is Mac motherfucking Dre. Mac Dre. We smoke backwoods because of Mac Dre. Period. If it ain't a backwood, it ain't all that good. So what I'm saying is, the reason is because Mac Dre in his songs would mention, we smoke backwoods because it's the most expansive. And that's why. It's just a flex. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people out here smoking it, and they'll be like, "Oh no, those ones are too expensive. I'm gonna smoke a fake backwood." And it's like, or oh, these backwoods are cheaper, and it's like, bro, hold on. If your backwoods are cheaper, what? The whole point is to flex. Like that's the whole fucking point of smoking a backwood is the flex. Like yeah, you can enjoy them and you can and have a preference to them, obviously, but that was why you would buy them, because back in the day it would cost $12 for a pack when Swishers weren't even $5 a pack. You know what I'm saying? So like that's where that comes from. So if you don't know, go listen to some Mac Dre and get gamed up, because you're fucking tripping if you're trying to grow up in California or a rap fan and not know Mac Dre. Like, that's like me. You heard when I was mentioning who I like for music. Like, I didn't throw in, like, East Coast rappers, but it's like, come on, dude. Like, of course I know who KRS-One is. Like, of course. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit like that. It's like, there's just some shit you should know. You know? Like, so going, I don't even know how I got off on that tangent, but what I was going to say was, like, so I started doing a lot of personal development work back in 2012. I started that. I started doing meditation, going to meditation retreats. I started, would do mushroom ceremonies, psilocybin, do fucking ayahuasca ceremonies. I'd be out in the jungles in Peru. I would be out in the jungles in Hawaii. I can't say what I was doing, but I can say I was out there and I worked with some medicines, and I partook in DMT ceremony. That was incredible. Ayahuasca helped guide me through that, and meditation helped guide me through all of that. So that's gonna be its own whole fucking episode, because that's some crazy shit. So there's so I started going on that journey, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, I started really realizing that like everything in my life was kind of like my fault, my choice, my decision. So how this kind of all ties together a little bit, which I'm surprised I was able to actually do this, is like, these choices. So me telling myself I was dumb when I was a kid, me telling myself, yo, never again am I getting fucked with. Those I made those decisions. This is who the fuck I am. I'm grown the fuck up. And what I made those decisions, and that's who I was since I was 6 years old. So what I would do is all the decisions and choices I would make in life as an adult, anywhere, well, until I started doing personal development stuff in like 2012, was like, it was all choices and decisions of a 6-year-old. I was acting out everything in my life as a hurt 6-year-old. Wrong sound effect.
Damn, dude. Damn, dude.
But that's some real shit. Play that back, though. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, I'll play that song for you, by the way. My son made that. It's fucking ill. Anyway, side note. So, going back to the point was like, yo, like, how many other things am I living out in my adult life as a fucking child? And I started tracing back like my earliest memories. Like, when's the first time I ever felt this feeling? And that's how I was able to uncover, like, yo, when I was in 2nd grade, this incident that happened when I got laughed at, my teacher called me out, blah, blah, blah. I decided I was dumb. Holy shit. Did I ever feel like that before that? And then I start going back. Okay, when my sister died, like, I kind of felt voiceless. And that's kind of the same, like, feeling inside as feeling dumb. And then I'm like, okay, well, when did I first experience that even? Like, when, like, how early can I trace this back to? And what I realized was that the first time I ever felt voiceless and, like, powerless, I was a little kid in Claremont, and I was maybe, like, 6 years old. And I had wanted orange juice. And I kept pointing. I had no words. And I just kept pointing and pointing and pointing. Maybe I was, like, 8 or 11 months old. I don't know. I was under 1 year old. And I kept pointing and pointing and pointing and trying to tell my mom. And she's picking me up. She's walking me around the whole house, pointing to everything except orange juice. And my dad's trying to, like, this, that, and I'm freaking out, I'm crying, but like, it's weird because I remember this, and like, I couldn't say what I wanted. And that was the start of like, yo, I'm invisible, I'm voiceless. So that's why as soon as some big trauma happened in my life, I went straight to like, yo, I'm invisible and I'm voiceless. That's what I made everything mean. And then I started looking at life like, yo, what did I make things mean? All these things in my life, what did I make it mean? Me getting cheated on, what did I make that mean? I made it mean that, yo, fuck her. Yo, like, fuck relationships, fuck this, like, it created this whole, like, what did I make it mean? You know what I'm saying? So once I realized, holy shit, I made all this stuff mean this. As soon as I realized that, it led to, like, me being able to take personal responsibility for myself. And that was when I would look at my ex and be like, yo, you cheated on me? I fucking caused that, dude. I take responsibility for you doing that. Not like I fucking drove you there and made you do anything, but I've pushed you to need to even feel like that, think like that, or consider that. I wasn't being considered enough to treat you like the queen you are and to treat you like the goddess that you are. And I just didn't have enough skills to do that. And it's like, and I didn't do that, and I didn't deliver that. So of course, and it's like, if you're going to come at me the way that I was coming at her, like I'm not going to say I would do the same things. I'm not a cheater, but like I would, I don't know. I understand, because I would be asking shit like after school. It's like, this is the end of high school at the time, I'd be like, yo, like what guys did you talk to today? Yo, let me see your text messages. Who's this online? Blah, 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 blah. What did such and such mean when they said this? Like, that's how I was. I was just looking for something to be like, yo, you did me wrong. I was just constantly looking for like, yo, how'd you do me wrong? How'd you do me wrong? And that's what I was looking for. And it was like, I didn't know I was doing that, you know? But looking back and doing a lot of personal development is like, yo, I totally was doing that. I'm the asshole. Holy shit. I don't blame her at all. Not at all. I don't even believe in blame or fault, to be honest. That's a whole nother thing, is like, I fully believe in personal responsibility. And it's like, when we blame people or fault others, it just doesn't work, you know? And obviously it's easier said than done, because it's easy to still go and like do that, or blame somebody in a roundabout way where it's not directly blame, you know? So anyways, fast forward a little bit, like, also what stroked my ego and why I thought it was so cool is because it was like, my story was unique, and people would find me fascinating when I would explain that to them. And that was just like a big deal. And like, I'd be in personal development classes and people would be like, yo, like, wow, your life is crazy. And I'm like in front of like 300 people, and I was like, damn, that's a trip, you know? But then I realized that like I said earlier, like, we all go through the same amount of suck, you know? And if it wasn't for me, somebody dying, for somebody else, it was like them getting their Nintendo taken. It was just as traumatic, you know? It was the way we feel. It wasn't the actual nature of the event. It's really the way we feel that we're left with that matters. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like some people go through crazy shit and they're just kind of, yeah, whatever, you know? So within that space, like, I started sharing, I started being open, I started being honest, I started like taking responsibility. Let me make sure I say started, because this is something I work on majorly, and this is even part of why my last relationship failed. But so then again, I'm like thinking I'm all fucking cool because I'm like honest about my life. I'm open. I got no fucking secrets. I got no weird shit in the background. Like, I am who the fuck I am, you know? And I'm on this really huge personal growth tip, and I'm like making good money. I'm just like, life is cool, you know? I'm having fun. I started getting good at surfing. I'm, you know, decent at motorcycles. I had some cool toys. All this shit, you know, I had my dream truck. I had all this shit, and like, I end up again with a super duper hot rich girl who's older. This time, what, 24? Yeah, I want to say I was 20. Yeah, because I was with her for almost 2 years. So like, yeah, I was like 24, and she wouldn't let me know how old she was for a while, actually. But I was 24, she was 41. Yeah. So I was 22, she was 41. She's like a few years younger than my parents. I'm like, yo, this is a trip, bro. Like, fuck, dude. That was interesting, but she was cool, you know? And it was like, she had her shit. I could easily put it all on her, but I'm not going to do that, and I won't do that, you know? And it was around her that actually, like, through that relationship, I don't even want to call it failing, because I don't think the universe makes mistakes. Like, anything else that didn't work out, it wasn't supposed to work out. That person, that thing, that time frame was just a life lesson, you know what I'm saying? So, it just didn't work out, and that's cool. And like, I think we're just too similar, and our egos were kind of too big, and like, I don't know. I didn't know how to listen, for one, too. That was one thing. I would always be listening to say something or to fix something. I wasn't listening just to listen. It was always to like have a response, or to fix something, or to be like, oh, my story's crazier. And, you know, so like, and then again, same thing, driving around a brand new Beamer, 20 fucking, whatever the year was, Beamer, you know, and like, I just thought I was so fucking cool again, you know, and it's like, I kind of was, but at the same time, not really. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I just realized like, fuck, man, I don't know what the fuck's going on, you know? So I don't know. I'm just like going through all this personal development, personal growth, all this shit. And I really realized like one thing I learned from my homie Pablo, who passed away, was like, so his uncle had said at the funeral, like, yo, to see Pablo be his truest self was to see him interact with kids, because he was like a hard ass Mexican gangster, and he was like hard. But when he was a kid, he was like the most gentle. Like, he would roll around on the floor playing with toys. Like, he was just silly, and like, he didn't give a fuck. Like, he was so hard that he didn't care if you judged him acting like a child with a kid, you know, or the little cousins or whatever. And that really led me and pointed me to like, yo, like, fucking kids is where it's at, dude. Like, working with kids, helping, you know, like, this is where it's at. So like, I graduated out of getting in trouble and all this shit, being around the wrong people, the wrong crowds, and like, finally it's like, fuck, I start like family life, and that was interesting, man. And this kind of like comes back up to where I'm at currently. Is like I was with my last girl for, like I said, about 6 years, and technically, and I call it's my son. Nate is my fucking son, but like technically, just for the sake of transparency, Jen had Nate prior to me meeting her. Oh, I don't know if I'm supposed to say her name, but sorry. It's nothing but love. It's nothing but love. So before I met my girl, she had Nate, and I met him when he was 8 years old. And it was like we fucking bonded fast, and we teach each other so much. Like that's my fucking son. Like no matter what, dude, like that is my boy. Like that's my fucking son. And we just fucking, man, we've been through so much together, all of us. And then eventually we had my son Royal, our son Royal. He's almost 2 now, and we just been struggling, man. Like communication broke down. I stopped taking her on dates. I stopped doing fun shit, and that in turn led her to just like not wanting to do stuff or express herself or whatever, and then all the times that I would be like trying to fix something in a conversation or argument rather than just listen, it's like I can see how that pushed her away and like creates distance and like creates distrust within communication. And like once communication's broken, it's hard to like go from there, we just kept like trying to like, we were trying everything, we went to counseling. We had several different counselors, and no matter what, it just wasn't working out. And it's like I have so much love for her, and I'll always love her. And she's an amazing person, and like I know that I could easily point the finger and be like, oh, this doesn't work because you this and this. But at the same time, like I said, I do my best, and I don't believe in blame, and like I can only take responsibility for myself. And again, this was one of my greatest fears, is to not be with my kid's mother. I used to think about that as a kid, actually, even though my parents stayed together for a long time, but I would freaking, man, I don't know. Like I kind of would start going through my shit. She was going through her shit, and eventually it was just too much. And like, we kind of noticed we're being a bad example for the kids. And like, I always want to do my best to live on an authentic life. And I know she does too. So the whole point is to be like a good example and to be happy, fun, open, expressive, loving people. And like, for whatever reason, when we come together, it just doesn't turn out that way. It's like, it's all love, or it's like, or we just get into it, and it's like, fuck, dude. Like, I don't know. At the end of the day, we're not setting a good example by like forcing this at this point. You know what I mean? That's not the example I want for our kids, or that we want for our kids. So it's like, yo, we need to do the best thing possible, and like, you know what I'm saying? Just do what's best for the kids. And like, what's best for the kids is what's best for ourselves. And that's one thing I firmly believe in, is like, we have to do things for ourselves. We have to take care of ourselves, number one. We have to. And it's easy to like get out of a relationship, want to go jump into a new one and all of that. And just like, that's running away, and that's on some punk shit, like, it's not about that. Like, you got to actually sit down and I think feel the pain and like process through this shit, like, we're supposed to fucking cry. We're supposed to feel pain. We're supposed to all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like what was told to me is like, how can you be a real man if you don't know how to cry? If you don't know how to feel sad, if you don't know how to take the time to fucking work through how you feel, how can you be a real man? Because a real man can feel all range of emotions. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Damn, dude.
that's some real shit though. Like, it needs to, that's just how it needs to be. You know what I mean? So currently where I'm at is I'm fucking broke as a joke. This COVID corona shit has fucked up work pretty substantially. Back at my fucking original house I grew up in. It's a little different behind me now and whatever and around, because it's been remodeled and I've been gone for years. Excuse me. And I'm just like sucking up my pride and like fuck doing what I gotta do. And starting this podcast, like the Damn Dude podcast, like this is some real shit. This is, to me, the impossible, because speaking up and speaking on camera and being somebody who's been judged as mute or literally that I don't know how to talk, I've had that shit said to me over my whole life. Like for me to get on here and speak and share is like, that's the impossible for me. So like I said, it scares the shit out of me, and that's why I'm gonna do this and why I'm doing this. Like I said, you'll see me get nervous, you'll see me freak out in some interviews, you'll see me fucking start tripping and different shit like that, but it's all fucking good. It scares me, and being nervous and excited and scared is all the exact same chemical reaction in our body. It's just a matter of what our brain decides to do with and interpret, and how it chooses to interpret that information. So every time I'm scared, I just say I'm fucking excited and let's fucking go. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. We've got some fucking dope ass interviews coming. I absolutely promise you on my life. Yeah, man, I appreciate you guys' time. I appreciate you guys' listening, and I appreciate you guys' support. So if you enjoyed this, you got anything out of it, if you have any questions that you want me to respond to or shout out on a live podcast episode, leave them on Apple iTunes. Leave a 5-star review and leave your comment or questions, and I'll go through them and I'll read them on the show. And make sure you get your question answered or your shout out handled or whatever it may be. And yeah, man, that would be fucking greatly appreciated. Yeah, I fucking love you guys. I appreciate it. I know there's a bunch of shit I missed that I want to touch on, and it's all fucking good in the neighborhood, Holmes. So yeah, I hope you guys have the most absolutely beautiful day, night, evening, whenever the fuck you're listening to this. I'm gonna take you out with the song 10 Minutes to Mexico by Rooster Tail. That's at Rooster Tail, TALE official on Instagram. I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Much love. Peace.
Nothing, 90 miles push away.